Hello everyone, thank you for joining me for today's plan with me. I'm not feeling 100% today, so sorry if I sound a little bit funny, but I just, I filmed this one as a bit of a one-off really. So this is a really old Aura Estelle cloud planner that I have. I must have bought this 2.5 years ago, maybe even 3 years ago, when all of the shops sort of came out and did their own version of the Erin Condren. I was sort of trying to see what I wanted and what worked for me, and this was one of the ones that I bought. It's a really beautiful planner, but it's just not for me. I don't think rings. I think it's a rings planner. I think that's what they call it, but it's not for me. I like to have the coil bound ones, but in the kind of in the effort of saving money and still trying to do the hobby that I love, I'm using the older planners. So this will be my planner for next year. But basically I wanted to do a spread. I really wanted to do a spread for when we went to Florida back for my 30th birthday in February. But I really wasn't happy with the spread that I did in my my spare Harriet Wright Designs planner, because I've sort of been doing the odd spread in that. I haven't been doing regular ones, but just kind of here and there, filling in the weeks that are important. And I didn't like the kit. It didn't work for me. And I just thought, you know what? I've got a bunch of spare weeks in the Aura Estelle planner. So I've basically been through and mapped out the months, how many weeks I'll need in each month. And then I've got about 5 spare weeks at the back of this planner. And I just thought, you know what? It'll be a bit of practice, get used to how I want to use this and what it will look like. And I can replan my Florida holiday. So that's kind of the idea here. But I just wanted to show you the planner that I'll be using for next year. But like I say, it's really old. They are massively popular planners. I think this was an Oops one that I purchased. I can't remember now, but I'm pretty sure it was, because I didn't want to pay full price at the time because I was trying to figure out what planner I wanted. But handy to have spent the money at the time, and now I don't have to spend it now. And for Christmas I've asked for a printer, the sticker paper, all of the stuff that I want to use. So hopefully that will kind of scratch the itch for me for 2025, and we'll kind of see from there. If mid-year I want to switch it up, I can. But yeah, I thought this would be kind of a nice thing to film in case it's that time of year, I guess, where people are choosing their planners for 2025. So it might be that you're looking around for what works for you. So this is, these are again really old, but they're Sadie Stickers inserts, but I don't think they look like this anymore. So I think she's amended them to have more space up top. So there's a lot of space in the washi area, and I think her newer ones have a lot more decorative space above the columns. I could be wrong, I haven't seen them in person, but I have a feeling that's kind of what they look like now. But yeah, this it's going to be an interesting year for me, getting used to taking the pages out and doing it this way. I like it to all be in a coil planner. There's something about it just being one big chunky planner that I just love, and it's all in one place. I don't have to do anything to prepare for a spread, whereas for this I have to open the planner, take it out, and I know that sounds like a really silly thing, but I feel like the more I do that, the more I'm going to wear out the clasps, and they're very flimsy, and it's on first glance it's not for me, but that's the year I'm in for. So yeah, hopefully if you do still enjoy watching my plan with me is relevant of the planner that I'm in, then hopefully you'll stick around. So this one I've also I haven't sped up because I didn't have a whole lot of florals, so I sort of compiled a bunch of stuff for this. So the kit is from Simply Watercolour Co, years and years and years and years old, back when I didn't do as decorative of a spread as I do now. So it didn't really, the kits looked different back then. And it's a beautiful, beautiful kit. It's a very stylishly done Little Mermaid kit, and that's why I bought it, because it didn't look childish, it didn't look garish or anything like that. But I've had no purpose for it, and this felt like the right time to use it. And I've got another Disney kit for the second half of the holiday as well that I'll be using. But yeah, this was a great opportunity for me to pull out some old Miss and Meow stickers. Again, like 5-year-old Miss and Meow stickers. That's the scallop circles that you can see with the little bow on them. So old. And then I got to use my Give and Go boxes. I used a bit of old washi in the washi section. And actually, I surprised myself and I really enjoyed putting this together. I put a lot of thought into my placement. I put a lot of thought into the colours I was pulling in. Those arches on the Monday are from Paper Trail Plans. I mean, it was just, I really enjoyed it. I really took my time to think about placement. I found some Sadie stickers, florals, that were, strangely enough, sort of sea-themed florals. They were very sea-esque, sort of underwater floral kind of stickers, and they worked really well. There was some starfish I didn't end up using, there was some shells, but it was really weirdly in line with the vibe of this kit, so that was mega convenient. But yeah, in terms of I'm just trying to think if there's any others. So I've used a lot of Panda Bird Design scallops in here as well, and some Two Little Bees boxes, but I know she's closed now. But yeah, in terms of the holiday itself, it was just amazing. I'm sure I've talked about it on Instagram and maybe even in a YouTube spread before. But basically, I am a Disney nut through and through. I absolutely love Walt Disney World. We went to the Disneyland Paris with some friends. It is not the same. It is not the same. I just adore Walt Disney World. It's very special. Obviously, it's a long way and it's very expensive for us to go. So it was the first time we had been as a couple. It was Lewis's first time there ever. But I grew up going, and my family loves Disney. It was just amazing. So it was really wonderful. As soon as we were looking at kind of options for my 30th, I said, no, I absolutely want to go to Disney. And we squeezed everything in a week. I hadn't been for many, many years. I think the last time I went was 2017, which is about 7 years ago, I think, at the point that we went. So things like Rise of the Resistance I hadn't been on, Guardians of the Galaxy I hadn't been on, Tron had opened fairly recently when we went. Just amazing. He loved it. He was really worried it was going to feel really childish, and the time of year that we went, we deliberately worked it around school holidays so that we wouldn't be going in UK school holidays. I knew that he wouldn't want to go at a busy time like Christmas or New Year, so we avoided all of that, and it was a really perfect time, and he really wants to take his mum and sister back one day. We're years off of being able to do that, because there's other things we want to do first. But I would go to Disney every year if I could. I absolutely love Walt Disney World. But yeah, absolutely phenomenal. The highlight for us was Guardians of the Galaxy. We did a couple of after hours events. We did Epcot after hours and we did Magic Kingdom after hours. Highly recommend if you're ever going to just pay for those events. You can do so much. There's no queues. Certainly when we went, it was like 5-minute wait for everything. The Guardians queue works a little bit differently, so that will take you a bit longer because you have to do the pre-shows and all of that. It's not the same as just sort of getting on Living with the Land or getting on Spaceship Earth. There's processes to that queue. But it was amazing. I ate my body weight in popcorn on those nights because it was included. Mickey Premium bars, all of that. Amazing. And we actually arrived earlier than I expected when we landed, which meant that we could go straight after we checked in. We stayed at Caribbean Beach, and I've never stayed on Disney property before, and it was just amazing. If I can find the video that Lewis took of me just screaming and clapping in excitement, if I'm not too embarrassed to share that on the internet, I'll have to find that. But I really was on cloud nine. I've included some photos of the holiday at the end. But when we arrived, so after we checked in, we went straight to Magic Kingdom. We grabbed some hot dogs and corn dog nuggets from Casey's Corner and stood and watched Happily Ever After. And when I tell you the emotional wave that came over me, and of course that was Lewis's first time ever stood in a Disney park. For me, it was like throwback to every fireworks show I watched as a kid and as a teenager. And actually as a young adult, because my sister would have been quite small when I was a young adult, sorry. It was just, I couldn't believe it. It didn't feel real. I couldn't believe we were there. I couldn't believe my husband was there with me watching this show. It was just incredible, and yeah, amazing, really amazing moment for me personally. And I know he was very excited to share that with me as well. And then we tried to go on Space Mountain, but it broke down when we'd queued already for about 25 minutes. So he was very tired and he was very miserable at that point. So we just called it a day, drew the line, and went to bed because I was desperate to stay up as late as possible. But we had to kind of prioritise his health to make sure that he was going to be, up early enough every day. But yeah, it was just amazing. I'd done so much research beforehand. I'm always keeping up to date with all of the Disney things anyway, but I had done so much research because we'd never used Genie Plus before. We'd never used Lightning Lanes because it all used to be, Lightning Lanes, it all used to be Fast Plus back in the day. So this was a new one for me, but we really made the most of it. We budgeted it almost to the penny. We did amazing with how spot on of the budget we were, but it was just amazing. If it's on your list to go. It's a must do. See you in the next one.